Wakanda forever. Y'all knew this was coming. Now, Phyllis 2284 want to know how to cook mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I'm gonna be making various mushroom recipes. Today we're making mushroom tacos, as you can tell by the title of the video. Now, today I got these beautiful blue oyster mushrooms, and I got some golden oyster mushrooms. You can make this recipe with white button mushrooms, the baby bellas, with whatever mushrooms you got. But like, look at these. The lighting in here is off. Excuse me, it's something else that I'm working on. Hopefully the audio is good and not like last week. So I got a cluster of blue oysters, and then I got the golden ones. These been in my refrigerator waiting on me to record this video, so they slightly raggedy right now, but I got a better picture of a different cluster that I had last week that was big, and it was so pretty. It was golden. All right, y'all, so this is mushroom tacos. So I'm doing the little street tacos. I like the little small tortillas, organic corn, of course. My little toppings I'm gonna put on here. Salt-free all-purpose seasoning is on talkandeattv.com, of course. Website is linked down below. I got my taco seasoning. Now, this is a recipe that I made, my own taco seasoning. This recipe is on the website. This recipe is on the website. And then I got a little salt right here. I like sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, the red salt. Now this is what we're gonna cook the mushrooms in. I made my own ancho oil. So basically what I did to make this ancho oil, the ancho chilies, I made my own oil. I didn't dilute it a lot, that's why it's nice and dark. But I'm gonna cook the mushrooms in this, it's gonna be good. And I use avocado oil. I don't do canola oil. It's not good for you. Do your research. I like avocado oil and grapeseed oil if I am gonna cook with oil. But when it comes to mushrooms, mushrooms is just one of the things where if you gonna cook mushrooms, you need oil. If you really want it to give, you really do. So for the cooking of the mushrooms, it's gonna be the ancho oil with my taco seasoning. Them is the two recipes of the day, ancho oil and taco seasoning. But today is really mostly just about technique. And then I got my mushrooms, I got my garlic, I got onions to go on top. I'm probably gonna put some, no, never mind. I got my lime, cilantro, onion, my little nutritional yeast, avocado, good stuff. So I got a hot pan right here. For this specifically, matter of fact, I'm moving backwards. Now, when it comes to oyster mushrooms, I don't like to chop these with a knife. I really don't. I like to just peel these. And then when you get a piece like this, the individual piece like this for oyster mushrooms, I just like to tear them. I just like to tear oyster mushrooms. So that's what I'm gonna do. With portobello mushrooms, and especially if they the minis, but with the big ones too, the baby bellas or the regular big portobello mushrooms, white button mushrooms, you can dice those because they're a better shape. They're more close to round than this big cluster of freaky looking mushrooms. If you're not a mushroom lover, this will look scary to you. But yeah, so I'm just gonna tear these. I'm just gonna tear them. Move this seasoning out the way. Hold on. Damn it, I spilled some. It's okay. This counter is clean. I'm a chef, not a videographer. Y'all know this is one take. Straight through, one take. So I really just like to tear these. The oyster mushrooms, I just like to tear them. Just tear them apart to whatever size you want them to be. But when you tear them to be all about whatever size you do pick. Just make sure they all about the same size. That way they all cook about the same time. Now the thing with mushrooms is you really need mushrooms. You really need to cook the water out. So a lot of times when you go somewhere and you get some mushrooms, or just in general, if people don't cook mushrooms correctly, they're like soggy, chewy, gooey. That's the only way I can explain it. Soggy, chewy, gooey. And I hate improperly cooked mushrooms. One way people improperly cook mushrooms is overcrowding the pan. If you overcrowd in the pan, they're not getting a good sear. Therefore, the mushrooms are steaming rather than getting the good caramelization. You know we need that Maillard method. We really do. Gotta get that caramelization. That's the flavor. You have to cook mushrooms properly. Also, frozen mushrooms are a big no-no. As a chef, I'm always gonna tell you no to frozen mushrooms. I would rather you eat frozen organic corn than frozen mushrooms, because you could get away with a little frozen corn, especially if you do it right. It don't really need no water, a little butter, non-dairy butter for me. But yeah, that's all you really need. This pan is hot. I've had that pan preheating for a while I was getting ready to film this video, so I'm just taking it off the heat so that way it could cool off a little bit, because I don't want to put my nice ancho oil in there and then the shit start burning as soon as I put it in the pan. So I took about half the cluster of the blue oysters, and then I might fuck around and use all of these golden oyster mushrooms. These looking a little raggedy because they've been in the refrigerator waiting on me to do my video, but I had a big cluster of golden oyster mushrooms about a week ago. Now the thing with mushrooms too is most mushrooms, the grocery store mushrooms, are not wild mushrooms. They're grown indoors and they're not really dirty like that. But you know, if you see some mushrooms and they got like the substrate that they grew in on them, you know, you want to get a little brush. If you got the mushroom brush, dust it off. Or if you got you could dampen a paper towel slightly and just wipe them off, but grocery store mushrooms, you're fine. Especially if you're cooking them, but yeah. You can brush them off, slightly damp paper towel, wipe them off that way. And then I'm gonna eat this part too. I'm eating all this. You know, mushrooms cook down and they do lose a lot of volume. Just tearing them apart. I ain't got no nails. I keep my nails cut real short, so having nubs and trying to do this, it feels so funny. Alright, I don't like how this piece feels, so I'm not gonna do this piece. So out of all these mushrooms, these are the only pieces I'm not gonna use. Okay. So I got my mushrooms. The oyster mushrooms, the golden ones, will turn brown because they're gonna get crisp in the pan. They're not gonna stay yellow at all. They are not gonna stay yellow. Alright, so I got my mushrooms and I got this left. You could do anything with this. Once you know how to cook mushrooms, you could literally throw mushrooms into anything. Ooh, this would be good at the end too. Just a little tap of vegan butter. Oh, that'd be good. See, that's the fat girl in me. Okay, so now that I done cooled that pan off a little bit, let's get started. So I'm gonna bring my pan back. It's hot, I can still feel it. I'm gonna do medium heat, nothing too crazy. All about technique. So I'm gonna put maybe a tablespoon of this in the pan. This is really good. Oh yeah, I didn't tell y'all how I made this. So what I did is I recorded some of it too, so I'll be able to include footage this time. So I took the ancho chilies, right? And I took the stem off and I de-seeded them. You know, dried chilies be like tough, so you could just cut them with scissors and it's real easy. Don't fight with a knife, especially if you ain't got no real sharp knife. Use scissors. Use scissors, please. So you could get the top off, pop the seeds out, and then what I did is I put them in some avocado oil, and it was on the stove. So I did the avocado oil and the ancho chilies, and then I heated it on medium heat until they started frying. Once they started sizzling, I took it off the heat, and then you want to really let this sit for an hour and come to room temp, because you don't really want to cook the oil. You just really want to infuse the oil. But once it came to room temp, I just blended it. I didn't want to strain it or nothing like that. You can strain it and it'll look like a nice like deep golden oil. So you could just heat up the oil when they start frying, let it all sit for about an hour, and then just strain out the cut up pieces of chilies. But I just blended it whole because I don't like waste, and just give me all the peppers. This is fine for me. And even though this might be shelf stable, I'm still putting this in the refrigerator because I'm just gonna put it in the refrigerator. All right, so let's do maybe a tablespoon of this. Let me see. Maybe 2. And you can always dilute this and put more oil in it. So my oil is nice and hot. And I'm gonna put my mushrooms in. I'm not gonna put my garlic in yet because my garlic is chopped real fine and I don't want my garlic to burn. I want to really cook these mushrooms down. See, already I just put the mushrooms in the pan and just making sure they're all completely coated in the ancho oil. And because mushrooms are like sponges, they literally absorb. So what I'm gonna do is put a little more oil. A little more oil. This is 2 ingredients. The ancho chilies and avocado oil. Okay, that's enough because I don't even cook with oil like that. That's enough. And I'm gonna just make sure they all coated, and then I'm gonna leave them alone. I don't really want to do this on too high of a heat. I'm doing it on medium. Okay, so once they all coated, I'm gonna spread them all out evenly flat. Spread them all out evenly flat and just let them cook. Watch them, don't leave them. Mushrooms cook fast. I'm gonna show y'all what they look like already because my pan was hot and because this oil got a dark color. Let me show y'all what these look like. These smell so good. Also, because I have a high power blender, I didn't strain this. So honestly, for y'all that don't got no Vitamix blender, I'ma actually recommend for the recipe to, once the chili starts to fry in the oil, just let it sit for an hour and then just strain it. Because I got a Vitamix, so this is really, 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 really smooth. And I know most of y'all don't got no Vitamix blender. Y'all be looking at me like, girl, I can't make no smoothie that thick. So yeah. See, my mushrooms caramelizing. These cook fast too because my pan was hot. Taste them as you go so you can see the texture that you like your mushrooms. Some people like them softer than others. When you do your ancho oil, make sure you don't cook it too much because you don't want to burn it. Okay, so when my mushrooms about half done, that's when I like to add salt. When they're about halfway to the point that I like them. So now salt. And then just a little bit of my taco seasoning. Just a little bit. You don't need much. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna put my garlic. I got some finely minced fresh garlic. I'm a garlic girl. Ooh, this smells so good. I got a plate in a nice warm oven, so my plate gonna be nice and warm when I put the tacos on there. Oh, these gonna be so good. Just taste them as you go. Don't overcrowd the pan, don't steam it. And that's really it. That's about how I like them. This look like some like dark charred like grilled meat. This looks so good. This tastes so good. Alright, I'm gonna show y'all a clip of what this looked like. Oops, didn't press record. I hate it when on camera they don't look how they look in real life. I hate it when on camera they don't look how they look in real life. Like this is how I like mine. Hold on, let me get over here with a better. Hold on, let me get over here with a better point of view. This is how I like my mushrooms for tacos. This is how I like my mushrooms for tacos. Nice. They're nice. Golden brown. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Put my mushrooms right here real quick. And then heat up my tortillas in this same pan. Come on, y'all know what it is. I'm gonna just do 6 tacos today. This would be real good if you put some onion in here, some garlic. It's really choose your adventure. Dang, now these cook down so much I kind of wish I would have had the rest of them mushrooms. You know what? I got a little side of white rice in the freezer. Not in the freezer. In the refrigerator that I need to eat. I'm gonna bust that out. No cold tortillas. If you got a gas stove, you could just throw these right on the open flame. My mama hated when I do that. She said fuck up her stove, but we ain't at her house, so it's fine. And I ain't got no gas stove here. I only buy organic corn tortillas because corn is literally in the top GMOs in the world, period. So I always buy organic corn. About time to bust my plate out. Them tortillas getting hot. Ooh, I got my nice warm plate. Ooh, this plate more than warm. This plate hot. These tortillas still ain't where I want them. So I already showed y'all how to do avocado. But one thing about me, I'm finna eat this whole avocado. So since I got 6 tacos, I know that I want to cut this into 6 pieces. So that way for 3 tacos, I could do 2, 2, and 2. And then I got another half of avocado. So that'd be 2 slices of avocado for every taco. Like, I be so serious about my avocado. Like, I need my avocado in every bite. Ooh, them tortillas so good. I got my lime. Six tortillas, 12 slices of avocado. So yeah, that's it. This oil will be good on the tortillas too, but this is enough oil for me for the week. You do need to stir it because even though it's smooth, the chilies be settling to the bottom. Put this right in the refrigerator. And this will be good on a lot of stuff. Don't forget to get your salt-free all-purpose seasoning. To those that eat meat, that's real good on meat. Frying fish, frying pork chops. just cooking a chicken breast for dinner. It just ain't got no salt in it, because salt is very preferential to people. So I believe people can salt their own food, because only you know how much salt you like. I know people that don't even cook with salt. Can't relate, but I know people that don't even cook with salt at all. I don't know how they get by. So I'm just gonna line up my tortillas like this, 3 and 3. Try not to drop them. Dry roasting them in the pan that I cooked the mushrooms in. And we gonna get into Wakanda forever, because this was a black ass movie and it was so good, y'all. I'm already gonna tell y'all I like it. Love the movie. It was a great movie. It was so good. I literally watched it on November 11th, and I didn't do a podcast about it because I'm like, okay, well, let me at least give my people a week to watch it. So at this point, it's free game. It is free game. We finna talk about it. I'm gonna do mushrooms, nutritional yeast, raw onions that have been rinsed in cold water to take that edge off, and then I got my avocado, lime, fresh chopped cilantro that's been sitting here getting brown while I've been setting up for this video, but it's okay. Still gonna taste good. Wait, no, these last 3 tortillas, because we have lots to talk about, darling. Lots. Ooh, that movie's so good, y'all. A nice warm plate in the oven is a pro tip. If you don't have nice dishes, you can't do that though. Restaurants do that all the time. Let's say, if you have nice plates, so let's say you baked something in the oven and you turned your oven off maybe an hour ago, or you was just doing a separate part of the dish that required you to turn on the oven. When that oven is still warm, put them plates in there and let them plates get warm. Don't bake the plates if they can't go in the oven, but you know what I mean. It's nice to have a warm plate hold the temp of your food just a little bit longer. And y'all know I eat slow, and I don't feel like eating off my insulated plate today. I'm like, let me get a nice plate, my little nice square plate. I really love them little taco things to put your tacos on. As much as I eat tacos, you would think that I have one of those. Okay, I got my tortillas to where I like them. Shout out to all the people that can't use their hands for shit like this. I've literally seen my grandma take shit out the oven with her bare hands. She next level. This pan's hot. Move this out the way, my little cooktop. All right, that's looking like that's about it, y'all. We finna sit down and eat and get, oh, where my phone? Because, okay, so, I'm about to tell y'all, let me fix my plate. So, a little bit of nooch at the bottom. Let me come closer, hold on. There we go. Come a little closer. Okay. I like to do just a little nooch on the bottom. You know what? I might not need that rice, because I do got a whole avocado. I don't know. This was really all about technique, y'all. Cook the mushrooms to the texture you like. But if you find that you've been making mushrooms and they've been ooey gooey gross, you're probably putting too many in the pan. Also, don't use a sauce pot. Use a skillet, a saute pan, wide and flat. That way the steam can escape faster. If you got something in the sauce pot, the steam is in the pot more. Just a little more nooch. Y'all know we love nooch on this channel. Put this in the sink. Now, this is just the way that I am. Whenever I'm eating a taco, and if it's a taco where I'm doing avocado, onion, and lime, I always do avocado, onion, cilantro, lime in that order. I don't do enough. Oh, damn, I need one of them spoons. Forgot about my avocado. Oh my God, this avocado is literally perfect. I mean, isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Like, y'all know I'm like very OCD with the way I eat. Like literally I'm not exaggerating, I need everything in every bite. As much as I would love to cut this up, make this really pretty, I'm not going to eat it like that. So today is just not that day. Let me know if y'all actually do want me to do my super fancy like chef shit. But like, I really don't even want these videos to be for your entertainment. Like I want to be entertainment as far as sitting down talking shit about the shows that we're watching, yes. But when it comes to the food, I want it to be shit that y'all actually are going to make at home. Like, oh, Mashawn made that pesto the other day. You know, I can make that pesto. You see, like, just shit like that. Oh my God, this avocado is so good. Where did I get? I got this from Trader Joe's today. Shout out to Trader Joe's. The way that I'm just rolling in and out of frame. So let's talk about, okay, so I'm gonna do raw white onion that has been ran under cold water, rinse, drain to take that little edge off, but I like raw onion. And then cilantro and then lime. So with the audio on my video last week, I found out, so I've been recording on my iMac, and I love that because I don't have to take hours to transfer footage from my camera to my computer. I do that with certain videos, obviously, but like if I don't have to, I don't. Still use my camera every day, but for the podcast, because the videos are so long, it's just faster to do it this way. So what my camera, my iMac was disconnecting from my microphone. So it wasn't intaking audio from my microphone at all. So that's what my computer been doing. And so that's the problem. I'm on my camera this week, just my camera, nothing else. And I did order a lav mic. And I cannot wait on it to come in the mail. I'm waiting on it to come in the mail. So when the cilantro stick to your hand. Shout out to all the people that say cilantro tastes like soap. Can't relate. Cilantro is so good. Top tier herb. Very good for you too. Cilantro and parsley. Common culinary herbs, but very good for you. Heavy metal detoxing. All of that good stuff. Me trying to get every piece of cilantro. So I like to take a quarter of a lime per like 2-3 tacos. I like a lot of lime. Depending on how juicy the lime is, I might need more or less. Bitch, this lime just went in my eye. Hold on, give me a All right, now that I've recovered, straight to the point. There is no full uncut reaction video to this because, as you know, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is in theaters. So I saw it in theaters. Now let me tell y'all, I saw it in 4D. If you can see a movie in 4D, please see it in 4D. I'm talking about wind blowing, seat moving like I'm on the Star Wars roller coaster thing at Disneyland, and water. As soon as I sat down, I looked and I saw that it said water on or off, or like whatever. It was red, it said off. I pushed both of them buttons on my left and my right and turned all my water on. It was amazing, immersive experience. 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. So good. If you could see the movie in 4DX, please go see it in 4D. It is so good. Shout out to Our Lady Denied. You know, we miss her on Walking Dead, but I watch whatever Denied do. Sometimes I be wishing I was in New York to go see Denied's plays, because, you know, Denied is a playwright. But, where is my, I know you lying. I literally was in the theater seeing it in 4DX, and very unpopular opinion, I'm the person that goes all the way down to the floor in the very first row and be looking at the movie like this, because one of my top pet peeves in the world is people walking into a fucking movie while I'm watching it. I'd be so blue. So I didn't do that. So good. And I saw it in 4D all the way in the front, and I was literally taking notes in my notes on my iPhone 13 mini on my little phone, still looking at the screen, typing notes of stuff, that points that I knew I wanted to talk about during this reaction. Not during this reaction, during this podcast. So y'all, I like a lot of onion. And I'm mad because I cannot find my notes. I made a whole note. Oh, here you go. Okay, because I'm like, y'all, I had a whole note. November 11, 2022. Last time I put something on here was 2:19 p.m. It's a long movie and it's good. I love a long movie. Wow. This little last bit of nooch. Let me put this on here. It's good. Now y'all know we lost Chadwick Boseman in 2020, and he is dearly missed. And I swear to God, they gave that man 2 funerals. He obviously had his real life funeral. They laid him to rest so good in this movie. Oh my God, I felt like I was there. They laid that man to rest so beautifully. Now, the first thing I wrote down, this is literally what I typed. Prayer help me heal my brother. I wasn't even typing cohesive sentences. Like, some of these points are literally like 2-3 words, just so that I knew in my head what I would remember what I want to talk about. It started off hectic, straight to the point. And it's just amazing how they was able to use his real life death in the movie, because it was not public knowledge that he had cancer in real life. And the way that played into the movie is insane, because y'all gotta remember, Killmonger destroyed all the heart-shaped herbs. So they haven't been growing their vibranium no more and doing all that shit that they've been doing. It had took me a second to realize that, because I was like, how the fuck couldn't she heal him? Y'all gotta remember, Killmonger had destroyed all the heart-shaped herbs. And so they didn't have their usual, you know, routine that they had. So it started it off, and she was saying a prayer to help her to heal her brother. And I'm like, oh my God, we going there right off the bat. Oh, I was feeling all the feels during this movie, y'all. It was so fucking good. And, you know, she was basically working to 3D print a heart-shaped herb they didn't have anymore because Killmonger destroyed them all. And the second she got something ready, he had just passed, y'all. He had just passed. And in the movie, she didn't know he was sick. People didn't know he was sick. I mean, it was just like real life, but it just so happened that they able to tie it into the movie. In real life, people didn't know that he was suffering from cancer. And then he suffered in silence in the movie as well. So she didn't find out her brother was sick until he was dying. That's why she couldn't get nothing together to save him. And they laid that man to rest so beautifully. Oh, it was so beautiful. It was a black ass funeral. And one thing that I do love about Wakanda, like, my food is leaning very much toward Namor during this podcast, but I'm not on his side, okay? I'm gonna just say that right now. My food is giving very much Namor people, way more than Wakanda, but yeah. So, it was so good. Even though Wakanda is landlocked in East Africa, where human beings come from, I love that Wakanda represents so many different African cultures across the continent from various countries. I really do love that. It's so good. And many various spiritual practices. A lot of the shit was given very much voodoo. So good. Like pouring libations at his funeral, which black Americans, we very much get that from the motherland, pouring libations. But, you know, over here is pouring out something for my dead homie in America. We very much get that from the motherland. But I put libations in here. I put funeral in here. Oh, and after that part, they had did a whole little Marvel montage of him. I was like, oh, it was so good. How they dedicated that movie to him. It was so good. And then a year after T'Challa's death, you know, we still ain't got no Black Panther. And the world is doing what they do in the real world. So the entire world gets their wealth and resources from Africa. Let's just be honest. Let's just be to the point. The motherland. From every resource you could think of, from the materials that my camera is made from, and these cell phones come from the Democratic Republic of Congo, to obviously jewels, diamonds, and oil, and everything you could think of come from the motherland. Like literally, like they even went over there and took my ancestors and brought us to America to build America for free from scratch. So the world gets their wealth from the motherland, period. Like it's not even nothing to talk about. And the way they had all of this real shit into this superhero movie was so good. I'm focusing the camera, y'all. I'm sorry. And a year after T'Challa's death, you know, the world won't vibranium. And Wakanda has never said they were going to give vibranium, trade it. They're not. So, that French lady was talking about how they was basically like a UN meeting, like the United Nations. That's basically what it was. And they gonna sit there and tell Queen Mother that they disappointed in Wakanda's lack of participation and not trading vibranium. And they want vibranium so bad, because obviously, and they want it, need it, will take it, all of that. They're not playing no games. They want some fucking vibranium. Like, Lord knows they don't need no vibranium. It don't need to get into the wrong hands. But they want it real bad. And ever since T'Challa died, they really like, oh, they ain't got no Black Panther. Maybe we could get some. They thinking they finna get some vibranium. No, you not finna get shit. Because you got us fucked up. We not stupid. I was not bored through the whole movie. It was crazy. And the French lady said, I made it a note to write this down, type this up. The French lady said vibranium is a threat because it can't be detected. Wakanda has had this vibranium for however long. And they only use it within themselves to prosper and thrive. They have never went out and attacked people. So it makes you think that now that they made it known that they got vibranium, that they're gonna go start fucking attacking people around the world. Like, just make it make sense. Like, stop it. So, okay. These people want vibranium so bad. And it was so good because they thought that because Queen Mother at the meeting, you know, the French, they sent their people in there to go get some vibranium. Y'all, I was so hurt. Now, the Wakandans is at work, minding their business, doing what they do. And in come these motherfucking white people, y'all. Per usual. Them troops came in there, holding people at gunpoint, looking for the vibranium. They said it was in the safe. It's not a safe, but I'm gonna call it a safe. It's one hell of a safe. Safe don't do it justice. Y'all, they opened that motherfucking safe. Okoye and her army came out whooping ass. I was like, oh! It was so good. I was like, we ain't stupid. We own y'all. We know what's up. All right. When I tell y'all, I was finna be so fucking blue if they would have got some vibranium and took it back to the French. Oh, I was finna be so mad. Like, we're not gonna even get into what the French have done and continue to do in the motherland in real life, but that was so good, y'all. Okoye and them girls. And speaking of her and her female army, the only thing that I will say about this movie is it would have been nice to see more black men and women together. Like, the council is very much black men and women. And you do got M'Baku, the vegetarian tribe. Don't play with them. If I was in Wakanda, I would be with them. And they had their moments, but, you know, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to mispronounce it. Okoye's army are the ones that protect the king. Like, they're the main ones. Like, that's their job. And it would be nice to see, like, more of black men and women working together, like, in that sense. That would be nice. But I really like their army. They get shit done. And it seems like overall Wakanda is balanced, but in that sense, the women definitely ran this movie. Like, ran this movie. From Letitia to Miss Angela to Lupita, Denai, to all the girls. Definitely ran the movie. So good. So they captured them soldiers, dropped them off at the UN meeting, had them on their knees in front of everybody, and had already sent everybody the footage of the attempted robbery to everybody's phone and computer. Given very much I ain't to be fucked with. I'm not the one. And she basically told him, she was like, next time I'm not going to be so generous. That was just genius. When she brought them soldiers in, that French lady was looking like you knew them was her people by the way she was looking. She was like, black people too nice. You know, they would not give y'all the same grace. And then, I put outreach center in Mali. Mali is in West Africa. I don't remember why I typed that note down. I really don't. was denied at the outreach center in Mali. I don't remember. Y'all know I like to go through the movie part by part. And next, oh yeah, I think the outreach center in Mali is where they was trying to get the vibranium from. Yeah. And a funny part that I have in here to talk about is Okoye, you know, one of her soldiers had brought them 2 knife things that Shuri had made. You know, she always, I mean, just innovation, the latest technology, of course. And Okoye is a general, is a leader, and she was like, absolutely not, we do spears. Absolutely not. She said it's precise, elegant, and deadly. And yes, it is all of those things. I just love the fact that Denai is a whole ass superhero, because we got to watch her on Walking Dead being Michonne with the katana. I mean, just slicing and dicing bitches with the sword left and right. And now she has a spear, which is a long weapon. So it's similar. It's different, but it's similar. That is just so cool to me. Like, that's so raw. This is so good. Ooh. And then, what else I put in here? It cut to the people in the Atlantic Ocean, which means they were definitely on the east coast of America, looking for vibranium, y'all. It says the chance of them finding vibranium in the Atlantic Ocean is 1 in a billion. So that was crazy. And I was just looking like, where the fuck this machine come from for y'all to look for vibranium? You know, because they feel like, shit, if it's vibranium in Wakanda, it's vibranium somewhere else in the world. And y'all know Americans love a weapon of mass destruction. They love it. And that was crazy. So this was where shit was about to really get real. Because now you're introducing new people. Yeah. That machine turned off, and then it was sonic attack. All you heard was this like humming, and it was kind of like a singing. After the thing cut off, they started doing that, like, well, the thing cut off because of them, and then it lost signal. And then the people above sea level realized it was some kind of sonic attack. And you know, first things first, they think it's the Wakandans because we're dealing with vibranium, and these are the only people that we know got vibranium. And I'm like, leave my people alone. We don't do stuff like that. And so the whole time they blaming the Wakandans. They just know it's the Wakandans. And I'm like, no, it's not. So then the people, they realized it was a sonic attack because they started walking their ass off the boat, just killing themselves. It was crazy. I really like that. Because that's just light work. You ain't even have to fight to get a lot of them people off the boat. They just walk right off into the water. So good. Nah. When they showed them motherfucking blue people for the first time, them Talokans, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Them Talokans, y'all. I was like, oh, hell no. Y'all. It was the water on their mouth for me. Because you know they got to stay moist. They can't breathe oxygen. They got to keep that water on their mouth. I was like, what the fuck? Also, I should have prefaced the video by saying this. I have never read any Marvel comic. I have never read any DC comic. I don't even know the difference between the Marvel and the DC world. The only thing that I do know is that Spider-Man is Marvel. And that's because whenever you see like a Spider-Man poster at a store or a toy or Spider-Man anywhere, it always say Marvel on it. That's literally the only reason I know. And obviously now because of Black Panther, I know Black Panther is Marvel. No, I have not read the comics. No, I will not read the comics. So, this is coming from a non-comic book, non-superhero person. I don't even watch superhero movies. I was just going to go love on and support this black ass movie that I knew was going to be good because the first Black Panther was so good. Love the first one. As far as going back and forth between the first and second one, they different. But I really like both of them. But the second one was more shocking. They definitely stepped it up. What I really like about these is how they mirror real life. So even with Killmonger, I relate to him so much because he was detached from the motherland, and that mirrors literally millions of black people in America. So I really did feel that how he was detached from the motherland. I really like that element of it. So good. So good. Now, the blue people, obviously we found out later was the Talokans. They start whooping ass on that boat. Ooh, I put on here, took the door off. That was when I just knew they were strong as shit. Do you know how strong you gotta be to rip a door off? I'm talking about a proper door on a ship. One of them heavy duty ships, not the, man, that was crazy. They ripped that motherfucking door off. They had that water on their mouth. Then they thought they was about to get away on the helicopter. They crashed the helicopter. That was a good intro to them. Stay the fuck out of our waters, trying to steal our shit. Go home to the snow and the mountains and the caves. Like, that's what it's giving. Stay out of our land. See, they was not having it. You will not be mining no vibranium in the Atlantic Ocean. No, you will not. Respect it. Then, oh yeah, they had showed that the queen had cut her hair. And I think she had asked Shuri about recreating a heart-shaped herb. I put down in my notes to recreate that thing because I was genuinely watching the movie. I wasn't even looking at my phone when I was typing because I did not want to miss a second. So I think that's what I was talking about when I said that. And you know, this movie definitely showed various ways to grieve. A lot of grieving in this movie. A lot of healing in this movie. So good. A lot of grief. As y'all have seen the movie, no. You shouldn't be watching this if you ain't seen the movie. Grief. All caps. We gonna get to that part. Y'all know what part I'm talking about. And basically how they just grieving. So Queen Mother talking to her daughter. You know, she want her to disconnect from her technology. She knows she not properly grieving her brother because every time somebody bring him up, you know, she be defensive. And, you know, you could just tell she's not having the best time grieving. And she took her daughter out. They in the sticks, damn near. They in the sticks of Wakanda. And she having a quiet moment with her daughter. She got the funeral clothes from T'Challa's funeral. And you know, she want to do a ritual with her daughter. It's giving voodoo. I love it. That's what it's giving. And it's just, this movie is so black. I love it. And she was trying to do this ritual with her daughter. It was a year after his death. Time to burn the funeral clothes, the ceremony clothes, and move on. And am I the only person mad that we didn't get to see the ritual? Like, I thought we was gonna like actually get to see a ritual. Like, I was excited. Like, oh my God, what is she gonna do? Like, is she just gonna throw him in the fire and that's it? Or like she got some other shit she gonna do? Like, I really wanted to know. Y'all, she talking to her daughter. I'm talking about they just getting started in the conversation. They didn't even get deep into their conversation for real. Here come Namor. Namor? Yeah. Yeah. I did not see him coming like that, y'all. I'm talking about, they were in a they had a very vulnerable moment. Very vulnerable. They trying to do their little ritual to try to complete the grieving process. And here you come. I know you didn't know we was finna do this, but still. Here you come. Eavesdropping at first. Because later on in the movie, he mentioned what he heard them talking about. And you just gonna roll up and start making demands, y'all. Oh my God. He had one hell of an introduction. Flew out the water with 4 wings on his feet, 2 on each side. I said, oh my God. I'm full. But I definitely could have ate that rice too, but that's just the fat girl in me again. So, that was so good. Tag me if y'all recreate this. The recipe is of course on my website. And just make sure when you make your oil, do not burn your oil. I don't want to see nobody like, Michonne, mine didn't come out right. What did I do? Even though I would try to help you troubleshoot anyway, but this shit right here. Oh, that was so good. These are in glass jars, by the way. My salt-free all-purpose seasoning. Real good on roasted potatoes, vegetables, hash brown. Real good. Y'all know I gotta lick my fingers. Anybody that's been watching me for like the past, what, 3-4 years, y'all know I gotta lick my fingers. I don't care what nobody say. People need to be more comfortable eating around people as normal human beings. You don't gotta sit all with them. And I do know how to set a table. I'm talking about salad fork, dinner fork, dessert spoon, dessert fork, soup spoon. Like, I know how to do all that. But you eating tacos, girl, eat your tacos. Don't try to be cute. Eat your tacos. You ain't gotta be no slob, but just eat how you regularly eat. If you somebody that smacks like me, high five. Love to have you here. I chew up a lot and I chew loud with my mouth open and smack. Shout out to all those people that chew like me, and shout out to the people who don't like it. Anyway, so yes, I literally put Namor, and then under that for my next note I put asking Wakanda for help. And then under that, I put blame T'Challa. Now, he rolled up to their house and told them that they need to go find the scientist that built the vibranium detector. And I'm just like, sir, no, you didn't just roll up to their motherfucking house making demands. You know, it'd be the audacity for me when I be watching shit. So it was crazy, y'all. So he blamed T'Challa because T'Challa revealed to the world that Wakanda has vibranium, and obviously at this point no one else in the world has vibranium that is mainstream that people know of. So they got a vibranium detector, which we found out later was basically like stolen. I mean, it's America, what else is new? They steal. So that was crazy. So basically, Namor came to Wakanda to tell them that they better go get the scientists that made this vibranium detector, because they in our motherfucking ocean looking for vibranium and we not finna have this. Go find the scientists, bring them to me, and I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill them, like, just period. And they were literally flabbergasted, because their security systems have never been breached in Wakanda. Ever. Never. And he rolled up on Queen Mother and the princess at a vulnerable moment. Crazy. So, yeah, that was groundbreaking to say the least. And then when he left, y'all, the vibranium detector was on the shore behind them. Shuri was like, how did he do that? So, they already knew whoever he was, he was not one to be fucking with. It was just like, it was crazy. And he told them, this was the best quote from that moment. That man said, I have more soldiers than you have blades of grass in Wakanda. Sir. Oh, he came cutting up. He was not playing. Not playing. And it was, they were just flabbergasted. And he basically told them, like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Man, that was crazy. He left that seashell and he was like, blowing to the seashell once you got him and I'll come get him and blah, 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 all the other shit. Just rode up to their house making demands. And obviously they had the meeting to fill everybody in or whatever. And here go my favorite girl, Okoye, talking about, when are we leaving so I can see my favorite colonizer? And when they said that, I was like, oh yeah, the white man from the first Black Panther movie. So they had went on to him. And it was good to see that he was still working with us. You know, we need him working with us on the inside. So that was good to see. Oh yeah, once they got, I'm looking at my note and I put, why would I have your number? Like, just, this was a serious movie. It was a superhero movie. It was suspenseful, it was entertaining, but it was funny. This movie was funny. Several moments throughout the movie where I was laughing. And right here I put in my notes, why would I have your number? When obviously they know how to find people. The white man was jogging. I don't know his name. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He was jogging and you know, Shuri be having her beads and you know her beads do all kind of shit. And it was following him and then he realized what it was and he was like, all right, I'm coming. And he was like, you could have just called me. And Okoye was like, why would I have your number? Like, that really tickled me. They had me laughing. I don't know if people are going to talk about the comedy in this movie enough, but like, this movie was funny. This was funnier than the first one. Oh yeah, and they were like, you owe me, Ross. So this is when they're getting to America now to get the scientists that built the vibranium detector. Of course it was a black girl. And that made it for me. Throughout this entire movie, it was the diaspora. I'm talking about they had the motherland in Wakanda. Then they had us in America. I'm talking about they went down to Haiti and everything. And I was like, oh my God, this is a black ass movie. It was so good. There are no movies doing that. Ain't it crazy that the bar is so low? This movie was done so well. They just made it look so easy. Like, it's not hard. Like, they really, this was a black ass movie. It was so good. So they found out that the scientist was a black girl. And I know, I don't care what nobody say, that is the reason why they did not turn her into Namor or just kill her themselves. Because she was a white girl. If that was, I don't care, if that was a colonizer, it would have been fuck him, we don't give a fuck. But that was a black girl and we was not finna let him do her like that. I know that's why they did not kill her or turn her into Namor. As soon as I saw she was a black girl, I was like, ah! I'm gonna comment on every little thing that happened in the movie, y'all. Or like, this podcast is gonna be 4 fucking hours. I need to like reel it in a little bit, kind of hit the main points. But yeah, I was happy to see that she knew the princess and everything. And she was just like, y'all taking me to Wakanda? She was so happy. But like, she didn't want to go right now because obviously she's in college, she in school and all this other stuff. She didn't really want to go with Shuri at first. And of course, Okoye came out the bathroom like, I told you 5 minutes. She tried to throw a heater at Okoye. That lady brought her fucking spear with her. Did you really think she would leave Wakanda without it? Excuse me? Do you really think she would leave Wakanda without her spear? Girl. Oh, it was so good. The moment between Okoye and the, damn, I forgot the girl name. And the new scientist was very funny. Called her ashy and she was like, I told you my makeup was the wrong shade. It was just, see, black girl problem, shit be too light or be ashy and not brown. So good. So they ended up getting her and that was great. So come to find out with the vibranium detector, she never built it to go find vibranium. She literally built it. It was a, I don't don't even know if she built it to intentionally be a vibranium detector. But I don't know. I just know she built it because it was a school project. They didn't get really specific. But it was basically like the school took it from her and used it. I mean, it's America. What else is new? Because she didn't even know that her invention was being used for some shit like that. Like, she literally just did a school project and didn't even know it had made it far beyond where it would ever go. And she built it fast with scraps. You know, she had materials from all over the place. It was so good. Just black excellence at its finest. This movie was great. The CIA took it. That's who took it, the CIA. I put it in my notes. And then they went to her garage. Y'all, they pulled up to her garage and come to find out this girl got a whole motherfucking Iron Man suit. Now, I've never seen Iron Man, but just off of like, you know, like being on the internet, you know, you see pictures and stuff. I think her suit looked like an Iron Man suit. But like, cause like, what else can I compare it to? You see what I'm saying? That girl has a whole motherfucking Iron Man suit, y'all, that she has been building with scraps. Oh my God. So good. I put that on there. And I really thought they all was just gonna get together in the car and drive. I never really know how to feel about that. You know, whenever there's something going on in anything, a movie, a TV show, whatever you're watching, and people split up, they always want to split up. Like, I get it, because like, if they catch y'all, okay, they just caught one, they didn't get all of y'all. Like, is that the reason that people typically split up? Shuri thought she was slick, making her car pull off with Okoye because she didn't want to ride with it. She took the motorcycle and the girl took an Iron Man suit. The fight sequence that followed that car chase was one for the books. It was one for the books. Oh yeah, and when Shuri fell off the motorcycle, when her shit turned into a shield so she didn't like scrape all the skin off the front of her body, that was great. I put that in my notes. I literally put fell made a shield. Now, we already running from the government. We running from the government. They trying to get us. We not going for none. A whale. Do you hear me? The largest water creatures, the largest creatures known to man, period. A whale, y'all, pulled up with the Talokans and threw them on the bridge. That sequence. This movie is, one thing about Marvel and DC, this superhero shit, like the budgets. The Talokans pulled up on a whale, squaring up on the bridge, y'all, ready to take the girl and kill Okoye and take Shuri. Oh, it was crazy. So good. But if you pay attention, I don't remember if I said this already, but the Talokan people, all except for Namor, because he's a mutant, and they all got the water on their mouth because they can't breathe oxygen. You know, they're like fish. They need to keep that, they need to breathe that water like fish. So if you noticed, they got that water on their mouth. Them little things. Crazy. Yeah, I got a couple of notes in here I don't even understand, so I'm gonna just have to skip over that part. I'm gonna feel bad if I remember it later. I took so many good notes while I was watching this movie. Oh, I put a note about the colonizer's ex-wife. I did not like her throughout that whole movie. I knew she wasn't no good. I knew she wasn't no good that whole movie. And then come to find out when she had bugged the beads at the end and was setting him up the whole time because she know he nice and he was working with the Wakandans. I was too through with her. I knew she wasn't good from jump. But just with that fight sequence, it was crazy. And as y'all know, if y'all watch the movie, they saved the scientists. Well, nobody died. Okoye had the hardest fight she had ever had to date with the Talokan super general. He was, I'm talking about, had some meat on him. I don't know what they eating down there, y'all. I don't know what they down there eating. But y'all, that man, like, I don't even know where they're training because they swim and they could beat your ass on land too. So I don't know where they training these people at, but they doing a good job. And oh yeah, and I saw somewhere that they were saying that Atlantis is obviously not Mesoamerica, but making it Mesoamerica was such a great change, such a great straight from the comics. And I greatly appreciate that. It made the movie so much better. Like, at some point, you just get tired of seeing all these white people. We need to, like, come on. It's more of other people in the world than white people. We need to mix it up a little bit. Like, white people literally portray ancient Egyptians in movies, which is so disrespectful because Egyptians were definitely black. Black. Like, there's no way they were white. So that's very disrespectful. So to have a movie like this, oh my God, it was such just a nice, pleasant change from movies you typically see all the time. Oh, it was just so good. So good. Even though it was fiction, it was a lot of facts in here. But yeah, I really like the change from the Atlantis people being Mesoamerican. I really did like that. It just brought a completely different element into it. And it's just so funny to me that Namor wasn't a swimmer before this. Like, he literally, when they asked him, had he swam before, he was like, I've never drowned. I've never drowned before. Really quick, let me talk about the swimming in this movie while I'm on the note of swimming. From Lupita to Namor to everybody that had scenes underwater, them people really had to train. Have y'all been on Lupita Instagram and TikTok looking at them videos she been posting, walking underwater with weights? Ooh, I know I could never. I know I could never. Now, at this point, after the whole fight on the bridge and Shuri left with them, and they had already had the girl, and then Shuri went with them, and you know, Koya had to go back home. Shameful. I felt so bad for her. Y'all, all this time come to find out, Lupita been in Haiti. Let me stop saying Lupita. What's her name in the movie? I need to stop doing that. Nika? What's that? I know Lupita name in the movie. What am I doing? Nakia. It gotta be Nakia. Yeah, so y'all, come to find out, Lupita, I just did it again. Nakia has been in Haiti, another black ass island. Great, we love to see it, another black ass place. So I didn't realize it from watching the beginning of the movie because it was so many people at the funeral, and I just didn't think about it in that moment. Like, I knew she was in the movie, but in the beginning part of the funeral, I didn't even think, like, where is she at? Why is she not at T'Challa's funeral? So come to find out, she's been in Haiti for the past like 6 years, and she had left after the first Black Panther movie when everything had happened. But we really know why she went to Haiti by the end of the movie. And when I tell y'all that took me out, the ending, we're gonna get to the ending of the movie. It's okay, have some patience. Let's talk about the whole movie. The ending, y'all, I cried tears. Like, I cried multiple times throughout the movie. But y'all, so Lupita been in Haiti all these 6 years. Queen Mother go see her and it's like, they got Shuri, like, I need you to help. It was so nice. Lupita was doing a lot. I just called her Lupita again. Nakia was doing a lot of work down there in Haiti. She was just one of the people. It was so great to see. And I had actually forgot that she was T'Challa's woman until she was talking about how she was talking about, like, trying to give, like, excuses on why she didn't make it to the funeral. So yeah, I had to talk about that part. At this point, they had went back to everybody underwater in the city of Talokan. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And it is beautiful down there. I mean, it is just, it's just beautiful down there. And it's so funny because I literally put a note in here and it says, in cave, nice dress. I'm telling y'all, I was taking these notes during this movie, not even looking at what I was typing. Them dresses was cute to me. I don't care what nobody say. The dress that they made Shuri was so cute. And when the girl was climbing her dress, I was like, damn, I thought the dress was cute. It was so funny. And at this point, Nakia had got the mission from Queen Mother. She wanted her to go get her daughter Shuri. And, you know, she was talking about how, like, you've infiltrated places for years. Like, girl, I know you could do this. Like, Nakia is like our secret service. Okoye got the army. I'm going to keep calling her Lupita. Nakia is the Secret Service. That's what it gives. It's the Secret Service, the CIA. That's what she is. And so she trying to figure out how to find Talokan. And she goes down there to Mexico. She goes to Mexico. And she's talking to this lady. And the lady wasn't taking her serious at first about the question she was trying to ask her about him, Namor. And then when she was like, I saw him too. So then the lady looked at her, because I'm sure she used to people saying she crazy and all that other stuff, so she don't like to tell the story. But it was great. It was so good. That lady sat down and told her a conversation. And come to find out, they call him our feathered serpent god. So he comes out of water often. I don't know how often, but it's like he's a legend, but he's not. Like, he's real, but he's fake. Like, it's giving Bigfoot, it's giving Chupacabra, like, it's giving that. And Lupita go down there, you know, she taking her notes. And then at some point, they were like, Shuri had her earrings on. So, you know, that was how they were able to track her, was with her earrings. So that's how they was able to figure out where it was. And I put in here 15th century Mesoamerican. This might have been the point in the movie where Namor started giving his background. Yeah, this might have been that part of the movie. And yeah, it had to be. So Namor is a mutant. So the Mesoamericans in the 15th century, they were being conquered by Spain, and they brought smallpox. Y'all know it is just so crazy to me how continuous this is in history. White people going somewhere and diseasing an entire people. It's like fucking genocide. Like, it's crazy. So to see it in a movie, I'm like, oh wow, not y'all putting real life in a movie. So yeah, the Spanish brought smallpox over there in the 15th century. And yeah, it was not a good time. So the vibranium basically saved the life of the people that was there. So, you know, they really found out that the meteor that struck in Wakanda, where they got their vibranium from, you know, it could be multiple, and it makes sense that there would be more than one piece. And that piece just so happened to be in the Atlantic Ocean, the other piece. So the leader of the tribe of Namor's mama was trying to figure out a way how to save his people. So I'm talking about he was underwater looking at caves, doing everything. They was drinking vibranium. Namor mama didn't want to do it because she was pregnant. And she was like, she don't want to hurt her baby. And that man lied to her, because, sir, you don't know what the fuck this blue shit finna do. I'm talking about they was grinding it up in a molcajete. Old molcajete. Wait, you know I gotta get my accent together. Molcajete. In an old one. And they was drinking that shit. And she was like, that's gonna hurt my baby. I don't want to drink that. And he was like, no, it's good for your baby. It's good. It did more than some good. And then they all like dropped dead, but they didn't. It was a lot for their body to take at once. They was just, I'm literally drunk as straight, y'all. Straight. And they all like damn near dropped dead, but they didn't. They came back and they were blue. So when I saw that, I was like, what would happen if the Wakandans drunk vibranium? We use it to make stuff, make anything, and do stuff. But have they ever drunk it? I'm curious. Like, is anybody... Well, the Black Panther drinks it, technically. So, yeah, the Black Panther does drink it. But it's weird. Because, okay, y'all, answer me this in the comments. Because they look the same. But for some reason, the Talokans, like... When they were grinding it up, it was blue. And then they turned blue. But you know, when they did the Black Panther thing, it was purple. Why is it a little color difference? When the Talokans drunk did they drink it purple and then turn them blue? Or they drunk it blue and then turned them blue? Because it's definitely purple. Like, you could even see it on the, like, when the vibranium detector was in the water, you could see the little, like, cracks in the ground, or like, and it was purple, so you knew it was vibranium. So I might be mixing it up. It might have been purple and then they drunk it and it turned them blue, or it was blue when it was ground up and it turned them blue. Either way it go, we know they was blue. So it was basically survival of the fittest, and the Mesoamericans left their land, and now we have this entire underwater civilization that is completely unknown to the modern man. From the 15th century, y'all. Now, Namor mama, she was missing her native land, because, you know, she's not from the water, she's from land, and she wanted to go home. You know, she would like to visit and stuff. That's where she was from. And when she passed, it was no question she was going to be buried on land. When Namor came up out that water from the first time as a child, and his people, it was his first time as a child, and Namor is not blue. He's the first mutant. When they came from up out of that water with his mama to bury her on land, and they saw the slavery on their land, oh, they couldn't believe it, y'all. They were just, they hadn't been up there in years. When they saw the slavery that was up there, oh, it was crazy. That white man was calling Namor everything in the book. Like, I don't even know, devil, not a child of God, it ain't no good in you. No, he had to kill him. Buried his mama and went the fuck back in the water. He was like, woo, it ain't shit up here on land for me. But yeah, that was crazy. That was a very important part of the movie. That was a good little backstory for Namor and his people. And yeah, this is the point in the movie where, after that background story, Shuri wanted to see the city, and he let her see the city. She had this suit because, you know, her body is not built for the water. That should have tell her up. She had a suit, and she got to see the city. I'm talking about, they have an entire civilization playing sports, kids, commerce, everything. It is an entire civilization. It's crazy. It was beautiful down there. Don't even get me started on how he was able to get the sun underwater. The way he had some light shining. They had made some light with it was crazy. But it is beautiful down there in that city. Yeah, she was at the Talokan capital city. Oh yeah, I made a note about the Talokan's people greeting that they do. It's giving clam, it's giving seashells, giving mussel. They do this, you know, the Wakandans. But the Talokan people do this with their hands. So we got another greeting. Add that to the list. And what happened after that? This movie was so long, y'all. I love a long movie. I'm looking at my next note. He said, in the depths of the ocean, I brought the sun to my people. And did. Ah, shit. This is when we got back to Lupita. Now, you know, Queen Mother had it all set up that Nakia was going to get her daughter back while she was talking to him, having a meeting with him. And I kind of go back and forth on this. Like, obviously, it's a movie. We have to have conflict. But let's just talk. I be going back and forth on this. Like, should she have just let... Like... Should she have went about it differently? You know, because we know what happened. And I just don't know. Queen Mother was really working out of emotions, and she just wanted her daughter back. She already just lost her son a year ago. She not trying to lose nobody else. Go get my motherfucking daughter by any means necessary. And bring the scientists too. So I go back and forth on that, because it's like, damn, should she have sent Nakia? Would Shuri have been able to make it out another way? Please comment below, because you know I'm live in the chat right now. I don't know, y'all. I go back and forth on that all the time. Like, was Queen Mother wrong to send Nakia down there to go get Shuri? I don't know. But I feel like she was wrong to fire Okoye. I feel like she really was wrong for that. Because this is my whole thing. Which I forgot about this. I don't remember if they showed it in the first Black Panther. I haven't seen the first Black Panther in a while. I should have watched it again to make sure I had my memory refreshed right before I went to go see Wakanda Forever. But Okoye has literally nothing to prove when it comes to being loyal. She's the general of the army. She has literally given her entire life to this. This is not even her job. This is literally her life. And when she fired Okoye because Shuri got away, I felt so bad, y'all. The acting, Deny, in that scene, don't play with her. Don't play with her. Oh my God, I was crying and I felt so bad. Like, she literally killed her own husband for y'all. Like, I understand how Queen Mother felt, because she's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck what happened. I didn't want my daughter to go with you anyway. My thing is Shuri was gonna go regardless, because I'm about to say her real name. Okoye didn't even have a chance to ask Shuri to go. And Shuri was like, all right, when we leaving? Shuri was gonna go anyway. It didn't have nothing to do with if Okoye wanted her to go or not. But you know, she needs somebody to blame. And I was like, no, you is not blaming Okoye. Your daughter is grown. I don't know how old she is, but is she like 18 or something in this movie? I genuinely have no idea how old Shuri is in this movie. Like, she at least college age, like is she in her 20s? I have no idea how old Shuri is in this movie. It's not talked about her age in the movie. I don't know, but she just want her daughter, and I just felt so bad. Do y'all think Queen Mother was right to fire Okoye as general of the army and then send the kid to go get Shuri? What do y'all think? I don't know. What do y'all think? I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking about it right now, like, I don't know. I just feel like she wasn't right to fire Okoye, because that lady has given her entire life, and that's her life, not her job. She is the general of that army. And your daughter, I know you don't know she went with them. They didn't take her, but yeah, she went with them. She wanted to go down there and see what was up. So yeah, I go back and forth on that a lot. And then it kind of ended up working out in the end. They didn't say she was reinstated as general, but Shuri definitely went and got her and was like, girl, come on, what is you doing? So yeah, I go back and forth on that a lot. So at this point, Lupita is going underwater to go get Shuri. 140 meters. 140 meters to miles. That's almost, wait. So 140 meters on the water is 0.087 miles. 0.078 miles to feet. 411.84 feet. She told her to get her daughter by any means necessary, and any means necessary she did. Ended up killing one of the more kids. I was like, oh my God, he really finna come get y'all now, Nakia, you don't even know. You just know you're going to go get Shuri. Oh, I was cutting up. It's so funny I'm recording this. I feel like I'm spoiling the movie for people. Even though if y'all are watching this, you don't give a fuck about spoilers, or you've seen it. I just do that. You don't give a fuck about spoilers, or you've seen the movie already. Like, I'm scared to like say what happened in the movie. Like, girl, that's what this episode is about. Y'all know I do not spoil people. So I still feel weird talking about this. I feel like I need to talk about it like 6 months to make sure like everybody has seen it. But no. So, yeah, so she went over 400 feet underwater and got that girl by any means necessary. She got it done. And, yeah, it was crazy. Namor had gave her that bracelet. Now, when I was looking at the bracelet, y'all, was it his mama's exact bracelet, or was it one that was just like it? Please leave me that in the comments. Because would he really give her his mama bracelet? Like, was it the bracelet, or was it just like a replica? Like, you know, his mama had one, and then like, maybe like whoever made that one had made another one. Like, it was just like a Talokan thing, and it was just another one. I don't know. Like, did he give her his actual mama's bracelet? Because really, deep down, Namor is not a bad guy, but oh, he will cut up. He said, look, I need to know if Wakanda is an ally. We can protect each other. And then that was when he had threw in there, he heard how she told her mama she want to burn the world. And he was like, they could do it together, y'all. It was crazy. I put Cape Verde in here. I don't know what that means. If y'all remember why I put Cape Verde in my notes, please let me know why, because I don't know. And yeah, what else happened? Yeah, this is when it got real, because I started typing real bad. I put in here, he was king and Black Panther to everyone, but he was mine to T'Challa. And then that's when the war happened. I don't even need to get into details, because talking about that is not going to do it justice. If you've seen the movie, you would know what a war that was. He rolled up to Wakanda and washed that bitch, literally. No remorse, none, zero. I said what I said. That was the definition of I said what I said. Oh, it was crazy. Now it's time to get to the part, y'all. Why they kill Angela Bassett? Why they kill Angela Bassett? This podcast is over an hour and a half long. I'm sorry, y'all. Why they kill Angela Bassett? I'm not sorry, but why they kill Angela Bassett? I was so fucking blue. Why they do Auntie Bassett like that, y'all? Queen Mother killed her. We already grieving T'Challa. Like, okay, I get it. Y'all, like, that was out of our control. That wasn't a death that y'all planned. So it's like, they really raised the stakes with that, though. It really did raise the stakes, and it made, like, they didn't just kill her, and to kill her, they made it made sense, because they killed her, but, you know, then that forced Shuri to step up. Then later on, woo, I ain't gonna talk about the ending. I'm gonna keep that hush hush. The very end of the movie after Rihanna sang. Why they do Auntie Bassett like that, y'all? He came and washed the whole motherfucking city, and then broke through the glass, y'all, and just washed that bitch. Flooded it, y'all. Flooded it. Didn't give a fuck. I said what I said. And Queen Mother drowned, saving the scientists. I did not see them killing her at all. Going into this movie, I never thought about who was gonna die just because Chadwick had passed. I never even thought about them killing somebody in this movie, but they made it make sense. They didn't kill her, and then I'm just like, okay, so like what's gonna happen after that? At least they made it make sense in the movie for the storyline, so I could appreciate that. And yeah, that was, whew, baby. She was standing there, and she had made the girl go back, and she was looking him straight in his eye. He couldn't break the glass at first. He had to go back, charge up, and broke the damn glass, y'all. She saved that child, girl, and ended up drowning. I did not see her drowning. When they was able to push the water out of the girl and save her, the way she was floating, and see, the girl was on her back because Queen Mother had saved her. Queen Mother was face down. I was like, oh my God. Y'all is not finna kill Queen Mother. Like, I just knew when they was CPRing whatever and trying to get the water out of her, I just knew she was gonna spit it up and be ready for war. When they killed her, I was like, Shuri is finna fucking kill you. Like, she's out to get you. It's not a fucking game anymore. That was the definition of shit got real when he killed Queen Mother, drowned her. And he was really mad at her too, because it's like, I said what I said, and then after I said what I said, you gon' go behind my back. You gonna call a meeting with me to send somebody to go get your daughter, and they ended up killing one of my kids. Oh, it was crazy. So he was really mad at her for that. So yeah, y'all, they killed Auntie Bassett, and I'm still not over that, because why y'all do Queen Mother like that? Like, they had to make it hurt. Like, T'Challa was not enough. No, it's Queen Mother. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm still like upset about that, because I was like, why y'all do Auntie Bassett like that? After that, this was when we found out that the colonizer's ex-wife had bugged Shuri's beads. And it's treason, basically. And they knew he was on the side helping the Wakandans. And at this point, this is when Shuri got her ass back in the lab to try to 3D print, y'all. 3D print at its finest. Recreating the heart-shaped herb because Killmonger destroyed it all. So, we need some vibranium, y'all. Like, we only have whatever we had before. We ain't got shit extra, okay? So, yeah, we trying to 3D print some heart-shaped herbs. So, she did that, and then she had it was so cold how they did it. I love seeing the science part of it. They make it look so cold. Oh, it looks so good. And she had like her bracelet, and then she had like got her brother DNA, and she did a whole thing. Oh, that sequence alone. And then her working with the scientists. And of course the scientist is like, Queen Mother just saved my life. You think I'm not finna ride for her? She was already riding for Wakanda. She was like, we finna figure out how to recreate this heart-shaped herb. It was giving Black girl magic. It really was. They was working together. I'm like, look at the diaspora working together for the greater good of us. So nice to see that sequence of them two working together. And like, it's like, oh, they just as smart as each other. So good. They just different. It's crazy. And she reinstated Okoye, and she's she ended up with the blue suit. Now you remember, she had already been working on the blue suit, but then she had went and did some extra work on the blue suit after fucking with the Talokans. Y'all, Midnight Angel. Okoye didn't like the suit, but like she was like, all right, I don't got no choice. I gotta fuck with it. That was so good. She was finally able to, look, I put heart-shaped herb. She was finally able to recreate it. Now, I wasn't ready for this next part, y'all. Now, you know she got to do the whole little Black Panther thing and lay down and drink the herb. We got to go talk to the ancestors, get some game. And you don't know who you're going to see. T'Challa will go see his daddy and get some advice from his daddy. And it's the ancestor reverence in this movie. Just the ancestor reverence is giving voodoo. It's oh my God, I love it. The ancestor reverence is so good. And so she drunk the heart-shaped herb, and she thinking she finna go see her mama. She would have even took T'Challa. Like, she would have been happy to see her brother, but she really was going to go see her mama. Her mama just died. Like, girl, we finna ride for you. So, and you know, she told them to like do something just in case I go into cardiac arrest. And, you know, they taking the proper precautions. And Nakia is there. And she drank the heart-shaped herb, and she's in the throne room. Now, you know, when T'Challa would do it, he would be in the ancestral plane, and he would be going to see his daddy. She was in the throne room, y'all. And I'm thinking it's finna be her mama on the throne. But I'm like, nah, this is gonna be a shocking scene. She gonna fuck around and see T'Challa or something. I don't know. Killmonger. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Y'all took me the fuck out. I told y'all I saw this in 4D. So 4D is 3D, but on top of that, the seat is giving roller coaster. There's wind, there's air, there's smells, water, like immersive experience. I damn near fell out that shit, y'all. When I saw Killmonger, and I'm talking about people in the theater gasping. I did not see that coming, but it was so nice to see Michael make a reappearance. It was so good. And he was like, you gonna be noble like your brother, you gonna take care of business like me. I'm like, we're gonna take care of business. That's what we gonna do. Sir, I don't want no smoke. That was a very good scene. And she didn't know how to feel about it. Cause it's like, I'm not like you, but I need to channel your energy for this particular situation. So Shuri was going back and forth, and you see she was lying, and she would not tell who she saw when she drank the heart-shaped herb. She did not tell, because she She was blue. She wanted to see her mama. So she was still trying to figure out how to do that. And yeah, I put from the Lost Tribe. I think he might have mentioned that. Like, that's literally us in America. That was crazy. Oh yeah, so once she had got everything together, and well, she was mad after she got up, and she was like lying, saying that it didn't work. Girl, it worked. You just didn't see who you wanted to see. And she punched something, and it flew and hit the wall, and they looked at her, and they was like, yeah, I think it worked. So at this point, Shuri is the Black Panther, y'all. But we got to do the official test. So she going over there to where Winston and them at. Because remember, during her mama's funeral, this ain't even in my notes. I'm just remembering. If y'all don't see me looking down, I'm not reading my notes in my phone that I took during the movie. Like, we still got a lot to go. But remember, M'Baku, he's so fine. He had pulled her to the side, and he was like, you know, I know you're grieving or whatever, but you know, I'm here. And he was saying how, like, he gonna take the people out to somewhere cold as fuck. Y'all know it was snowing and everything. And, you know, to protect them, because Namor know where Wakanda is at. He could get in. We finna go somewhere else. So he had took the people somewhere, you know, to protect them, to just get them out of Wakanda. And after she got her shit together, she came down there and everybody was looking. She arm wrestled him. Oh, it was over after that, y'all. I was like, ah! It was so good. It was so good. I put grieving in front of M'Baku in my notes. I don't remember what part of the movie that happened, but that's in my notes. And I'm trying to figure out what happened after that. This was when it was boat time again, I want to say. Because Lupita had tried to talk to her when they was leaving to go whoop some ass. And she still didn't tell her, because Nakia not stupid. She was like, she was holding her hands and everything. She approached it very gently, which I do appreciate. She was like, who did you see? And she still didn't tell her. I put in my notes, blew up the boat. Girl, what do that mean, blew up the boat? This was the whole war sequence, because I didn't take notes during this. I'm literally finna read to y'all my notes that I took during the big battle at the end of the movie. I put blew up the boat, stabbed her, her mama came to her, I yield. So them really the 4 main talking points. Let me get into this sequence of what I remember off the top of my head from only seeing the movie once so far. I'm gonna definitely see it in theaters again. So I ain't gonna go over the whole war sequence, because it wouldn't even do no justice. You know, we just here to talk about our feelings, talk our shit about how we feel about the movie. There were so many talking points. One right now I'm thinking of off the top of my head was when Okoye got to fight Master General again and got his ass. Oh, it was so good. They had their suits on, y'all. Another one when Okoye's army jumped off the boat all in sequence. It was like 5, 6 of them women. They jumped down. Oh, it was so good. They was whooping Talokan ass, y'all. And oh, I didn't even talk about how Shuri and old girl had figured out the recipe too, because you know, when you think it ain't nothing these black brains can't do. I'm telling you, when you really think, Shuri and the scientist, I'm so mad I can't remember this girl's name. Like, I know her name. I just saw the movie. Like, what the hell? They put their minds together and they figured out how we was gonna get Namor, dry his ass out, as they said. So they had already had their shit together, how they was finna get him. So yeah, that was great. Okoye fighting Master General, M'Baku, his people, everything. The main girl that works right under Namor, who had, you know, them bombs, but it be water that they be using, had stuffed, God knows, I don't know how many of them in the boat, and that's how they was able to blow up the boat, fuck up the engine. See, I'm bumping the camera. Y'all know I'm getting into it when I start bumping the camera. And yeah, that shit was crazy. The Wakandans thought they had won the battle until, y'all, when they changed the frame and showed us the Talokans with literal millions of them fucking water bombs coming. Like, the war is not over. Namor was not lying when he said he got more soldiers than we got blades of grass. Like, I don't know how many soldiers we got in Wakanda, but he got a nice supply because he ain't had to use them. Like, and they all trained, ready to go. Crazy. What's another talking point from the war before I get to the part when him and Shuri fighting? The scientist, her getting to use her new suit, her new updated suit. Oh, it was so good. She was having a ball. They had something. I'm trying to think of when they was fighting on the bridge. I think that might have been when they was fighting on the bridge. Remember, she had to go blow up the drone because the drone was tracking them. Yeah, I think that was on the bridge, and that's when she had lost her oxygen a little bit and had kind of failed. Tell this cat to leave me alone. And so yeah, that was for that. I don't think that was for this, but yeah, it was. That fight sequence was insane. Talking about it ain't gonna even do it justice. What's another one of my favorite parts? Really, everything. People was just whooping ass, and throughout the whole time they was fighting, I'm just like, all of this energy Namor put into fighting the Wakandans, where was this energy into whooping all that Spaniard ass who colonized y'all country? Like, sir, like, we supposed to be fighting the white man, not each other. Wakanda ain't did shit to you till you came over here making demands. You started this fight, like, sir. But it was so good, y'all. And yeah, let's just go on and get to the point because this episode long as fuck. When Namor and Shuri was fighting, she didn't stand a chance. Brawn, but she got the brains. It was literally brains over brawn. Cause she, first of all, she's not a trained fighter. As far as like you're going against the king. And you haven't had to physically fight for your life. You wasn't gonna beat him in fighting. So I knew she wasn't gonna beat him in fighting. She had to outsmart him. She had to outsmart him, and she did. They got his ass up in that thing, dried him out. He was drying out and he was weak and he was still whooping her ass. She was giving it to him, but he was still whooping her ass. Like, that's a man. A grown ass, hundreds of years old man. Grown ass man. And you not that old, however old you are. I don't, you know, the concept of age in Wakanda is a little weird to me. So you don't really know how old nobody is. You know who the elders are, but you don't really know how old people is. Like, I couldn't tell you how old Okoye is. So I don't know. The concept of age is a little weird to me because it's like, well, everybody don't get to drink vibranium, but yeah, just the concept of age is weird. So they had to outsmart him. That was the only way they was gonna be able to do it. And his people would have won the war. If everybody would have been able to go through everything completely, the Talokans would have won the war, but their king would have been dead. And it really could have just been like a, you know, like a gang thing in America where like it's some old beef that happened some years ago and like gangs are just beefing over. Ignore my cats. You know, like old gang beef that don't never get resolved. If Shuri wouldn't have ended the war, the Talokans and the Wakandans could have been eternal enemies. This is why I put them in the cage when I record, because they do shit like this. So I will give Shuri that. She was thinking about the future, but they dried his ass out on the way to the desert. Everything happened. The thing ended up crashing on the desert, y'all. And they are seemingly fighting to the death. Namor he was fighting to the death. Like, he wasn't playing with her. He was gonna kill her. He already killed her mama. He was not playing with y'all. He said what he said. He had every intention on killing Shuri. So they was fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting to the death. And she has rage on her side and fresh vibranium on her side. He not new to this. He true to this. So it was no way she was gonna win the fight. She had to outsmart him, which she did. That was great. And her suit, obviously her suit is just, I mean, it's vibranium. When he got to the point where he stabbed her and pinned her against that rock, that boy thought he was about to go get in that water, y'all. When he stabbed her, like, I knew she wasn't gonna die because she had her suit on. But when he got her right in the stomach, I was like, ah! I'm talking about, I'm in the theater hollering. Cause like, it was for a second, like, it was just shocking. Cause like, you didn't see it coming. They was fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And he got her ass right in the stomach, knelt her against that rock. Cause he is trying to go get some water, okay? Gotta get his strength back up. And he was trying to go get back to that water. He knelt her against the rock, so he's not looking behind him. He don't think she dead, but like he know he got a second where he need to go get some water. And she unpinned herself, and she ended up getting him. I don't remember at what point she managed to take off one of his wings off his feet, but whenever she did that, oh, he was really pissed off. He was pissed. Like, he was already finna kill you, but you just steady adding to the reasons why he on your ass. And that was so good, y'all. And I put in my notes, her mama came to her and I yield. So I'm trying to remember at what point did her mama come to her. Was it when she was knelt against the rock? It had to be. She was hearing Killmonger's words. But then when it got to the point where she unpinned herself from the rock and she got the jump on Namor, I think she was hearing her, like her mama came to her, and yes, I was about to say don't quote me, but yes, do quote me. I think Queen Mother said, show him who you are. I think that's what she said. And it was like devil and angel, devil and angel. Like, she wanted to kill him and avenge her mama, but at the same time, she's thinking about the future and long term. And she didn't kill him. I was like, is she gonna do it? Is she actually gonna do it? I don't think she gonna do it. She didn't do it. She gave that man way more grace than he ever considered giving her, okay? He never would have had that same energy for her. He had every intention on killing Shuri, but she gave him that grace. Oh, so forgiving we are as a people. She gave that man more grace than he ever would have gave her. And she really did end the war in that way, which was nice because, like I said, Talokan and Wakandans would have been long-term enemies if the Talokan would have won that war, but then the king was dead, you know? So she didn't do what she necessarily wanted to do in that moment, but she did what was best. And she told him what the fuck it was, and he said, I yield. He didn't have no choice at that point. He had to surrender, y'all, and wave the white flag. That was crazy. My next note I put on here was regrowing the heart-shaped herb. So yeah, it's just some points real quick before we get back to after that. They came back together, riding on the thing. I was like, oh, look at y'all working together. Everybody was looking like, wait, they're not fighting. And then he called his people. And I'm happy he got his people together because they had millions of them water bombs for our ass. And it was not going to be pretty. So I'm happy Shuri ended the war. I give her that. It was not necessarily what we wanted. You know, we be wanting to avenge our people, but she did what was best long term. And yeah, so that was the end of the fight, y'all. No more fighting at this point. I can't see Namor going back on his word, but that don't mean some of the Talokan people not gonna still be against Wakandans for killing that one girl, which is not bad. She was like the definition of, she was the definition of called a straight bullet. Nakia was just trying to get Shuri and the scientist up out of there, and the girl came and then she shot her. I was like, damn, Nakia, damn. So she was the definition of called a straight bullet. Like, girl, we just trying to do this. We ain't even come to kill you. I just came to get Shuri. It was a whole thing. So after the war ended, you know, we trying to regroup, figure out what life looks like now for us. And that's what we was doing. Shuri had her heart-shaped herbs she was doing. She planted them out. out, and you know, she be coming to visit them and plant more. And I'm just like, look at us rebuilding. So good. So good. She was sending the scientists back home to college, which was nice. She wasn't never being held hostage. We just had to figure out what was going on. And Shuri managed to rebuild that girl's entire car. Like, the girl, she knew she couldn't take her suit, but she was sending her back home, and she surprised that girl with her car. And I really did love that. I don't know the time difference between Namor surrendering and her getting that car together, but that was very thoughtful and very beautiful. Shuri found every single piece of that car and put it together and gave that girl her car back. Come to find out that was her daddy car. I'm like, y'all trying to make me cry every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes this movie trying to make me cry. Y'all, it was so good. The Jabari tribe. Who was the Jabari tribe? I put that in my notes. Who was that? Did this have something? Who was the Jabari tribe? I'm live in the comments right now. Comment that below. And then my next note I put on here, their ancestors dark skin Namor was drawing. Now, I don't know if y'all caught this, but I most definitely caught this. And as everyone should know, it's 2022. Melanated people are the indigenous people of the earth, period. It's just facts. And if y'all notice, at the end, when Namor was back at home, and you know, he was talking to old girl, and she was like, I look forward forever fighting on side of you and all that other stuff. She was basically mad that Namor didn't go through with everything and kill everybody. And he was like, girl, she could have killed me. We need Wakanda as allies. Like, it's okay. So, you know, he was talking to her because, you know, she felt some type of way. And clearly he likes to draw in his spare time. All of the people on the walls where Namor and them living, did y'all see how dark the people are? None of them were lighter than me. None of them. Did y'all see that? So when Namor was painting and drawing on the walls or whatever, I was like, giving a nod to the melanated people of the earth, the indigenous people of the earth, because we're everywhere. So I really did like that nod to the indigenous people of the Eastern Hemisphere. That was nice. I really did like that. Now, after that, they went to the part where they had to go bust the colonizer out of jail. This is the white man that worked with us. We need him, right? So, he on his way to jail. I'm talking about throw him in a slammer. He handcuffed in the paddy wagon, y'all. The fucking paddy wagon. And I don't remember like what part happened first, but Okoye rolled up and got him, y'all. You know we had to go get him. And I made it a note to type this in my phone, word for word. I said, colonizer in chains, now I have seen everything. I know she got a kick out of that, because I know I did. That man was so happy they came and busted him out. He was on his way to the slammer. Now, this podcast is over 2 hours now. We at the end, y'all. Stay with me. We wrapping it up. We wrapping it up. We wrapping it up. Now, y'all. Nakia, keep saying her real name, Nakia is back in Haiti. I'm thinking she was gonna stay in Wakanda. No, she was summoned by Queen Mother. She did her mission. She's back in Haiti. And so I was kind of hurt that Nakia was back in Haiti, because I was like, damn, I thought she was coming back home after this. But no, she was still in Haiti, living her life. She's living a good life in Haiti too. So, and so Nakia's back in Haiti. And she had already told Shuri that she could come to Haiti anytime and, you know, be with her and spend time. And Shuri took her ass down to Haiti, and she was doing the ritual by herself. And, oh, not my phone ringing. Anyway. Not my phone ringing. I'm on the end, y'all, like 5 minutes, I swear. These are my notes that I put. Well, really, I don't even need to put it, because like I know everything that happened at the end. This is just the whole end. So I'm done looking at my notes on my phone. Let's talk about this ending. This is the best ending to a movie that I can think of off the top of my head, especially that I've seen in a modern day movie. This was top notch, gave me something to look forward to, gave me some closure, and tied up some loose ends. Very good ending to a movie. It was so good, y'all. Shuri sitting there doing a ritual after her mother's passing this time, and at this point she really had to grieve the loss of her brother and her mama, and she was sitting there and she was really checking in with herself and going through her emotions, because remember, her mama had asked her, like, how do you feel when you think about your brother? And you know, this time she was really sitting with her emotions and thinking about her brother, doing a ritual all by herself, burning the clothes. Oh, like, Shuri, like that. Y'all, can we just give it up for Letitia Wright for this movie? Because Letitia, Nakia, look, now I want to call her by her movie name. Letitia, Lupita, Denai, Miss Bassett were in their fucking bag. Like, ooh, they was in their bag, y'all. So she reflecting, you know, she doing a ritual by herself. And I'm like, oh my God, she's really, this movie felt like it had, like, life was in fast forward. Like, it didn't happen fast because it was a movie. I felt it also fast, from love and grief and triumph and loss, and just, it was just, y'all, it was all the things. And she was really sitting through it. And you know, when she was at about a good point, and they start playing, you know, Rihanna's song that she did for the soundtrack. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all playing this, like, just every step of the way, y'all trying to make me cry. Like, she already in Haiti grieving, she doing a ritual by herself, then y'all throw the song on top of it, she's sitting there at the beach crying. I'm like, the tone is sad, and I'm sitting here crying. And then they like kind of start rolling in credits, and I'm like, that ain't the end of the movie. It can't be. What I always do is, every time I'm at a movie theater and I'm seeing the movie, just period, like, even if I'm watching something on my computer, I literally look, and depending on what it is, when you're streaming and watching stuff online, I would literally look and fast forward through the credits and just look at the end, just to make sure, you know, they didn't throw another clip on the end of the movie or show or whatever I'm watching. Because, you know, they love to, like, throw in something extra, like, hey, if you kept watching, you know this part. So I'm watching, and I'm like, I'm very much enjoying this right now, but I don't think the movie over. And I had to use the bathroom real bad, and I still was not getting out my seat. I was like, I'm not playing. Like, I need to see if anything else is gonna happen. So I don't know. So after the end, well, it wasn't even the end credits, but after that moment where Shuri was sitting there meditating, it come back, and here come the kid walking up on the beach with a small child. Shuri got a motherfucking nephew. Y'all, Shuri got a nephew. Shuri got a nephew. T'Challa's bloodline lives on. Lives on. T'Challa had a whole ass child, and we never knew. A whole ass child. Can we talk about the foresight, the intelligence, how great that was? Oh my God. The script, again, what the fuck, y'all? She walk up to Shuri, and you know, she like, hey, or whatever, and she like, this your auntie. And Shuri looking like, and it took a second, bitch, when she, oh my God, Shuri was just a crying. She already crying. It was just waterworks at this point. She was already crying. Y'all, I was taken aback. I did not see that coming. That was the best ending to a movie that I could think of off the top of my head. It was so good. This really is a prime example, and I'm gonna keep saying this. I've been saying this all the time. This is a prime example of making a part 2 of anything. If you're going to make more than one of something, they should always get better with age. You already have the skeleton, you have the bones, you have something to go off of. All you gotta do is look at it and be like, how can we make this better? I know it's easier said than done, but like, something should never be worse than the first one. Like, cause we could have just kept the first one. I hate it when people make more than one part or something. Like, why we got a Home Alone 3 and 4? 1 and 2 was fine. It was okay. And 3 and 4 are good movies. Not me bringing up a white people movie. But like, 1 and 2 was fine. We didn't need 3 and 4. We didn't. Y'all could have just, them could have just been 2 completely different movies on their own. Why did they have to be Home Alone 3 and 4? Y'all just wanted the Home Alone bag? I know, I get it. But you see how mad I was about Hocus Pocus 2. That shit I would never watch again. Cause the coon, I just couldn't take it. And yeah, it was crazy, y'all. So T'Challa has a whole son. The Black Panther lives on. So come to find out, this is the definition of come to find out. Come to find out, Lupita left because she was pregnant. We did not know this. This was only between her and T'Challa. Now, later on, we did find out that before she died, Queen Mother did get to meet her grandson, which I am so happy and grateful for that. She got to meet her grandson, and he got to meet his grandma. That was beautiful. But nobody knew that that was why she left. She left because she was pregnant, y'all. We didn't know she was pregnant, and he would go visit and stuff, and he very much was in his son's life, and he is being raised as a king without the pressure of being a king. He know who he is, and it was so beautiful to end the movie that way. And we know, man, I know they, y'all, it was so good, y'all. Who saw that coming? Everybody was like, Shuri's the Black Panther, Shuri's the Black Panther, Shuri's the Black Panther. Shuri is the Black Panther until her nephew grow up. And oh my God, when her nephew go to Wakanda for the first time, I'm gonna be so weak. So, y'all, it was just so good how they played that. His son has been able to have a nice, stable, normal, safe, regular childhood, but still being raised as a king without the pressures of being a king. He had a whole son, and we didn't even know. Oh my God. I know Shuri, like, she needed that little piece of happiness because she felt like her whole family is gone because her daddy been passed, her brother been dead for a year, her mama just died. She got a nephew. I know she just, y'all, she still has family. And they ended the movie after that, y'all. And I'm talking about everybody in the theater was just, I mean, I could have threw roses at the screen if it was a live play, y'all. It was so good. So good. Overall, Wakanda forever. I'm probably gonna be referencing this movie forever because the Black Panther was amazing. Black Panther, Wakanda forever, they raised the stakes. They're both great, but man, the first one, they're different, but this one was just as good, if not better, just because you didn't know what the hell was gonna happen, especially with the untimely passing of Chadwick. So that's just what really made this one so different, because it's like, damn, what they gonna do? So it was just a element of suspense. But y'all, the shit was, I mean, A+. What can I say? Real quick, I ended it, but I didn't. I was just about to walk away, but I'm looking at my notes just to make sure I ain't forgetting nothing. I forgot to mention, only him and Nakia knew he was sick. Only him and Nakia knew he was sick. And I talked about in the beginning that he couldn't be healed because they didn't have any fucking vibranium to kill him, because Killmonger destroyed all of the heart-shaped herbs. So he never, that's why he never, I felt like that was why he never told anybody that he was sick, because he didn't want to worry them, and he knew it wasn't nothing they could do about it. And in my notes too, I put, They had their own ceremony before he died. Yeah, I know y'all know that from watching the movie, but that's the last little part that I wanted to talk about. They had their own ceremony before he died. So that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. So really, she didn't need to go to the funeral because she already had made her peace with everything way before it happened, because her and her man were here. Do you hear me? Seeing eye to eye, they were here, okay? She had already made her peace with everything. So she has had the most peace about his death. Her and his son, their kid, they had the most peace about his death more than anything, because they knew about it when nobody else knew about it. So, you know, they couldn't risk the word getting out. So she didn't need to go to his funeral. So yeah, y'all. All right, I'm going for real this time. Wakanda!